In this episode, we talk about the legendary baseball pitcher, Glute Gossage. For those baseball fans out there, that's his real fucking name. The Glute, the greatest glutes of all time. In this episode, did you quit yet? And don't fucking lie to old Papa Swolio. I know better. Your mama told me. And you might be wondering how I got that information from your mom. I'll tell you when you're older.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 613 of The Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Nipplecast, and the video recording should work this time, cast. In the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. If you're catching this on YouTube, you know that yesterday's episode didn't record. So, Papa Swolio's back, but I don't stop. So every day is a new day and a new chance to make some sick fucking gains. So I will be taking some questions. I'm live on Instagram, live on Facebook, so float some hearts. Make sure you say, what up? You could say, what the fuck is up, Papa Swole? You could say, nice beard, bro. You could say, hey, Papa Swole, you'll love that glute video you just posted on Instagram. You could say that too. Today's episode is Glute Gossage. If you know the famous baseball pitcher, Goose Gossage, this is all about his glutes. We're going to talk about Goose Gossage's glutes today. Glute Gossage. No, we're not really going to talk about his glutes. That's fucking weird. But we are going to talk about the glutes. And I posted a video, and I'll put this up on Facebook at some point today. But you Facebook people are sleeping. You got to wake the fuck up. So Facebook doesn't deserve this video yet. So I went to Instagram. So that's like a sibling rivalry, don't you think? Facebook and Instagram. It's like a little sibling rivalry, you know. Why'd you post it there? I want it. No, I want it. No, it's mine. It's mine. No, no, but I'll post that on Facebook later. So I posted a video about the lateral tube walking. So let's go into a little more depth with that. Give you some more context for that post. The lateral tube walk is an activation exercise. So float some hearts if you love leg day. Float some hearts and comment, especially if today is leg day. So if today's leg day, make sure you say, what up, legs? Leg day, everyone? Leg day? If today's leg day, you want to do an activation exercise. I'm on this fucking exercise ball. I got to get it organized. You want to activate your glutes first. So when you're doing squats, when you're doing lunges, and I'm not talking about what you see these fucking Gymshark girls doing on Instagram or Facebook. I'm not talking about these bullshit glute kickback things that everyone has bad form with. I'm talking about real scientific, real activation, real neuromuscular activation for the glutes. Not genetically, not what you got from your mama and you're 19 years old and you arch your back and for some reason the floor is lava because you're always bending your fucking knee and your foot's off the ground, all that bullshit. Not the model glute work. We're talking about actual neurological glute work. So before leg day, even before any kind of activity where you're activating your core, where you're doing where you're going to be doing, midsection, when you're doing any kind of compound movement, deadlifts, even something like a standing overhead press, you want to make sure that you're doing glute activation. This is great on any day. In the video, I specifically mentioned it's good before a leg day, but you want to activate the glute muscles. Now, why? It's because that's the base of your core. The glutes are at the bottom of your core. Your core is from the hips all the way to the cervical spine. So the bottom of your pyramid needs to be firing. And because we sit so often and the hip flexors get so tight, the glutes get shut down because we're sitting in chairs, sitting in cars. We're in a hip flex position often. So we need to remind the brain that the glutes exist. We need to remind the brain that it's important to activate the glutes, that during the squat, we want the glutes to be the primary muscle moving. If you're doing legs, and float some hearts and drop some comments if you've had this experience. You've done leg day, and the next day you've gotten sore in your hamstrings and your quads more. You didn't feel in your glutes at all. And I'm sure a lot of you have gone through this. You've done legs, or you've done a workout, or even during the workout itself, and you haven't felt any kind of fatigue or pump or something in your glutes. And that's because your glutes are not activating. Your form could be off, and that's because of chronic movement impairments. So you're sitting down too often, or improper warm-up technique, or the combination of the two, whereas your glutes are not being targeted and being initiated by the brain before you do your integrated movements. Because when you do squats, for example, or lunges, we all know you're not using one muscle, right? You're using glutes, you're using quads, you're using calves and the soleus, you're using the hamstrings, you're using spinal erectors, you're using multiple muscles to keep your body upright with proper posture, and you're also driving force. So how do you reteach the body? You have to make this puzzle piece very important. So in order to do a compound movement where you're using multiple joints and using many muscles, you need to activate and isolate the glutes, the muscles that are most important to you first, so that neurally, so the connection with the brain and the muscle is firing, so that when you go to do those integrated multiple muscle movements, those glutes kind of take priority. Like the stage is set. The brain is already triggered to fire the glutes. So then when you start doing a squat, the glutes are already turned on, so to speak, turned on. Now, like I said in the post, I'm not talking about what you do in the dark on a Saturday night, you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about that kind of turning on. I'm talking about neurologically firing those muscles. So the exercise, and like I said, I will post this on Facebook, but the lateral tube walk, you get one of those little resistance bands, they're like $2 on Amazon, and you put it around your ankles and you follow the form in the video that I displayed. And what it does is isolate the gluteus medius and also triggers the gluteus maximus. But the most important thing is not just to do the motion and go through the movement. You need to make sure that's proper form. So you will always hear me talking about drawing the stomach in, sucking the stomach, suck and tuck, suck and tuck, suck the stomach in, squeeze the glutes, and tuck the invisible tail under. And that posterior tilt and that activation of the intrinsic core stabilizers by drawing the stomach in, by activating the transverse abdominis, that natural belt inside the body, what you're doing is not only are you firing and isolating the muscles like the glutes, you are creating that environment with good form and good posture. So if you have a lower back arch and you're not in good postural position and then you're doing lateral tube walking, you're just teaching the body to activate a muscle with bad form without the proper positioning. So you're not really making any progress. You're not really doing anything worthwhile. So it should be very technical. It should be very, very nitpicky. The toes should be completely straight. All these details should be absolutely perfect. There is no compromise because this is an activation. You're not doing this to get massive glutes. You're doing this to make sure neurologically that you are firing the glutes. So when you do those integrated movements, you will get that booty pumping. So that's episode 613. Let's take some questions because I know a lot of you saw that video and loving it. You guys on Instagram? Let me scroll through some Instagram comments. I'm making something and you're my inspiration. I need one of your quotes for it. What do you think? I'll send you a picture when I'm done. I have no idea what that means, Tiny Fury. You're making something? That's creepy. That's creepy. Are you doing like a little paper mache, little tiny Papa Swolio? Is like a voodoo doll? That's fucking weird. That's weird. That's weird. Voodoo's weird. I'm just kidding. You're not doing voodoo. I hope not. Let me know if you're doing voodoo so I can just schedule my week. Infinite Mind, do you prefer working out in the morning or at night? Doesn't matter. I prefer in the morning, but usually I'm up late doing work and editing videos, so I don't get up too early. I try to get in that schedule repeatedly, but it hasn't worked out lately. You have more growth hormone and testosterone. It's a better way to start your day, but a lot of people can't work out in the morning. They just, with scheduling, if you work at 4 a.m., you're not going to get up at 2 or stay up all night. So it's really preference, but you do it. It's better to work out than to not work out. But if you're going to take like pre-workout and shit like that at 9 o'clock at night, and then you're going to be up all night because you're taking all these things, just be careful. Don't take stimulants and stuff late at night. Like baby Groot, baby Swole. Maybe that's what they're making. Yeah, right? 25 Burnsy on Instagram. Are squats really that important for the rest of your body? Absolutely. Remember, when you're doing any kind of overload where you're loading the spine, so if you put a bar on your back or you're holding a weight overhead, you are targeting core muscles because you are not only compounding weight via gravity on the structural skeleton, so you're building bone density, you're also working the core because your body has to stimulate those core muscles to be able to handle the weight. Anytime you do, let's say, an overhead movement, you do a movement with your arms up overhead, you're activating more core musculature. Anytime you have weight on your back or doing a front squat, you're loading the spine, which is building bone density. So people that don't do any resistance training or loading are very at risk for like osteopenia or osteoporosis, bone degeneration as you get older. So squats are very important. Do you have to do barbell squats? No, you don't have to do barbell squats, particularly if you have problems with it. But a squat is one of the most functional things you could possibly do. So absolutely, super important. Super important. James Joy, my office job has me sitting at a desk 10 hours a day. Is there anything I should add to my daily workout to counter that? Yeah, James, you should be doing yoga. You should be doing glute activation. So you should be doing hip bridges, single leg squat, balance reach, what I show in the video on Instagram. I'll post that here on Facebook right after this episode so you guys can reference that. So stay plugged in, stay tuned. Make sure both of you, make sure both platforms, Instagram and Facebook, make sure you turn on post notifications. So on Instagram, you go to those triple dots in the top right and you turn on notifications. On Facebook, you go to the top of the page and you adjust your notifications. So if you're not getting alerts that I'm going live, if you're not getting alerts when I post things, make sure you adjust the notifications and put my page as a priority. That way, Facebook knows to show you my stuff. And that's a protection mechanism for Facebook and for Instagram, because if you got notifications or you got alerts or you got shown every single thing from every single page you follow, if you follow 1,000 pages, you're not going to use the platform anymore because you're just going to get alerted all the fucking time and you're going to be like, this is just too much of a mess. So they follow your habits. So if you don't watch my stuff for a couple days, they'll stop showing you maybe because they think you don't want to watch Papa Swolio, but maybe you were just distracted or on vacation and you weren't in fitness mode. So make sure you turn those notifications on because you can customize every last thing. So if you haven't done that on Facebook, please do that. Who is this bearded angel? It's Papa fucking Swolio. And if you didn't know, well, now you know. Eric Dean, I did those this morning. Today was my leg day. Good man. Good man. Pops, what up? What up, Jay Mulhern? 1090 on the IG. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Karen. Yeah, let's all congratulate. If you didn't see that on Instagram, I think a lot of you saw that on Instagram and also Facebook. I like that. Everyone congratulate Lynn Smith on your weight loss. So that's an amazing member of Swolenormous X, and you probably saw that post on Instagram and Facebook. He just alerted me. He sent me a message, and I posted it, that he lost 60 pounds in the last 3 months, which is phenomenal. Now, that's not normal, so don't be like, oh, I haven't lost 60 pounds in 3 months. He had a lot of weight to lose. He still does. So it's relative. So he has a lot of weight to lose, so he has more weight extra. If you weigh 200 pounds and you want to be 140, you're not going to lose 60 pounds in 3 months. Your body's not going to drop like that. But it makes it no less amazing because it's a massive change. You know, that's a small person that he lost, and that's just because of the execution and the daily, like he messaged me. He tells me he's working hard and he's doing it every day. So that's why I always talk so highly about consistency and just fucking doing it, because you're not going to lose it all at once, but you have to be consistent. You have to put in the effort for your body to do anything. So yeah, Karen, thank you for that shout out. Absolutely correct. Squats, deadlifts, bench press, do those in your golden, the triple. Those are basics for sure. Let's see. Do you train on an empty stomach in the morning? If I do train early, yeah, I'm not going to eat before I go work out. That's just me. Thank you to the new Swolecast. Dig it. Sweet. You're welcome. I train empty stomach. Any other questions? Papa Swolio, always an inspiration. Oh, Jessica. Muchísimas gracias. Life changes. Abso-fucking-lutely. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to post that video also on Facebook because I think Facebook's a little bit jelly of Instagram, and I don't want to start, back and forth. But if you're on Instagram and you didn't check my news feed yet, please do so. I'll actually also throw up that video on Snapchat so you snappers can get access to it too. But I just like it on Instagram and Facebook better just because you can respond. Snapchat, they still haven't gotten up with it with the chat and stuff. It's fucking pain in the ass. So I haven't used that as much lately. But I will post that on Facebook so you guys all have access to that. So it's a lateral 2 walk. And like I said, you can find those anywhere. You can find those probably at Walmart now, those little resistance bands. Don't start too heavy. Make sure you only going as heavy of a resistance band as you can when the form is perfect. If your form starts to break, it's too heavy, or you're fatigued, stop. It's very technical. It needs to be done perfectly, and that is how you do it. So thank you, everyone, for joining me. Episode 613 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Mancast, and Gaincast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. Flex it, fam. We all flex our biceps. And remember, all the episodes are right here on Facebook and Instagram, live, as long as it lasts on Instagram. But you can catch all the episodes also on YouTube, and the podcasts are on SoundCloud and iTunes. So if you drive a lot to work, you want to listen at the gym, there's 613 motherfucking episodes that you can catch right in your ear holes. If you go to SoundCloud or iTunes and just type in Swolenormous, Daily Swole, you will find Papa Swolio. So peace, McGee's, deuce, Magoose, Papa Swolio, out.